State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Moorhead, talk to State Farm agent Dave Eggers.
Get fired up for the new Shop MSUMDragons.com, the official online store of Dragon Athletics, featuring top brands like Under Armour, Adidas, Columbia, and more. Get gear in women's, youth, toddler, and infant sizes, perfect for all of our Dragon fans. Support your favorite Dragon team with Select a Logo. Anything custom ships in 72 hours. And take your tailgating to the next level with items like bleacher chairs, tailgate tents, and lawn chairs. Get the gear and support your team with profits going directly to Dragon Athletics from Shop MSUMDragons.com.
Exceeding expectations. Getting better every day. It doesn't happen by chance. Preparation pays off. So the only question to ask yourself is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
You always do this. You had a couple of pops in you and got cocky. Who's up for a game of wing roulette, you said? Because you thought it'd be funny to watch one of your friends get stuck with the hot one. But your friends, they got teriyaki, then spicy garlic, and then Asian zing. And now you're looking at the last one and you're thinking, my God, what have I done?
Hello everyone, if you're just joining us, welcome inside Alex Nemzik Fieldhouse. Football just won 51-26 over Minot State. Now we're going to roll into volleyball. Volleyball hosting University of Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs. And we're going to hand it down to Rick Flaxbars for some introductions and the anthem.
Welcome to Alex Nemzik Fieldhouse for Dragons volleyball. Today's match features the University of Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs and your Minnesota State University Moorhead Dragons. Before we begin, please turn your attention to the announcer's table for the reading of the NSIC Sportsmanship Creed by Amber Klug.
The NCAA and the NSIC encourage and promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We ask that you cheer for your team and be respectful of the opponent. As Division II student athletes, we support a diverse and inclusive environment, and we commit to fair play, responsibility, and respect. We invite you to support our effort. Go Dragons!
Ladies and gentlemen, MSUM is proud to be a yellow ribbon institution, and we invite you to please stand and remove your hats for the presentation of colors by the Vietnam Veterans of America Chapter 941 Northern Warriors. We ask that you please remain standing in respectful silence following the anthem until the colors have been retired from the floor. Now, let us honor America with the singing of our national anthem by MSUM Mathematics Professor Justin James.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Let's introduce to you the teams. First of all, starting with the visitors, the Bulldogs of the University of Minnesota Duluth, starting first of all with the non-starters. Number 1, Megan Freeberg. Number 5, Sydney Lanai. Number 7, Madison Gordon. Number 10, Brooke Schreier. Number 11, Lexi Langenfeld. Number 13, Meredith Sutton. Number 14, Bailey Ramich. Number 15, Mandy Karofsky. Number 16, Summer Ballard. And number 17, Brianna Weinberg. Now the starters for the Bulldogs. Outside hitter, 5'9" sophomore, number 3, Kate Berg. Setter, 5'8" junior, number 4, Emily Torby. Outside hitter, 5'10" junior, number 6, Hannah Meyer. Outside hitter, 5'10" senior, number 8, Mackenzie Morgan. Right side hitter, 5'11" senior, number 9, Sarah Kelly. And middle blocker, 6'2" junior, number 12, Abby Thor. And on the barrel, 5'8" junior, number 2, Tina Seifert. Head coach for the Bulldogs is Jim Booth, assisted by Kristen May and Kate Stearns. And now for your Minnesota State University Moorhead Dragons. First, the non-starters, number 1, Becca Kane. Number 3, Abby Colligan. Number 8, Taylor Thorson. Number 10, Amber Klug. Number 11, Madison Klein. Number 12, Mackenzie Reeder. Number 13, Gabby DeBoer. Number 16, Elise Baki. Number 19, Lila Zaker. Number 18, Caitlin Solinsky. And now your starters for the Dragons. Outsider, 5'9" freshman from Moorhead, Minnesota, number 5, Lexi Gilbertson. Middle blocker, 6'1" sophomore from Fargo, North Dakota, number 6, Carly Conwisher. Outside hitter, 5'11" freshman from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, number 9, Madison Watson. Outside hitter, 5'11" freshman from Phoenix, Arizona, number 14, Amanda Carlson. Right side hitter, 5'11" sophomore from Fire Lake, Minnesota, number 15, Lauren Hewitt. And a middle blocker, 6'1" junior from Hudson, Wisconsin, number 17, Kaylin Jenkins. And on the barrel, 5'8" senior from Ada, Minnesota, number 2, Monica Vega. Head coach for the Dragons is Tammy Blake, assisted by Bob Jones and Lauren Tedlock. Officials for tonight's match, R1 is Jim Trevick, R2 is Mike Pangborn. The line judges, Patty Hofer and Steve Hofer.
And welcome inside to Alex Nemzik Fieldhouse alongside Alexis Kennedy, Steve DeStacio with you. We get to do this annually, this little doubleheader day here on WDAY Extra. We're welcoming you at home. It's raining outside, so you know what? The yard work outside can stay till tomorrow, Alexis. For the Dragons, they've got a lot of work to do if they want to be successful tonight against Minnesota Duluth. What are keys to a Dragons victory here on the floor this afternoon?
Well, the Dragons all year have kind of struggled passing with the ball, the serve receive. So with that, they're not able to run their offense. So for them, Minnesota Duluth is going to come out swinging hard, serving strong. So they have to control their pass so they can control their offense, as well as they need to have their block. They are a great blocking team, and they need to use and utilize that to put some pressure on the Bulldogs.
The Dragons are in their grays with red numbers and black shorts. Minnesota Duluth receiving here on the left side of your screen in their whites. To the attack goes Mackenzie Morgan. And Minnesota Duluth strikes first. So here is the aforementioned Morgan. A little jump serve knuckleball. Right down Broadway goes Jenkins. A spirited second point comes to the end as Madison Wasink and Alexis, I know you and I were just talking, the Dragons, one of the better blocking teams in the league.
Yep, and you just saw it right there, the block by Jenkins and Wasink right away coming out. I'll have to mention too, UMD upset Northern State last night, so they're kind of on a high. They're here ready to play.
Into the net goes Kate Berg. Minnesota Duluth coming into this weekend 5th in the region, Northern State 3rd. Yeah, minor upset, especially down in Aberdeen. Just two good teams that you'd like to see lock horns in the postseason. 2-1, the Dragons with the early lead as a clean kill is by Hannah Meyer, a Tomahawk, Wisconsin native, a junior. Had her first career kill against the Dragons 2 years ago. So here's Keena Seifert out of Chaska, Minnesota. Monica Vega, we'll talk more about her. Carlson couldn't get it done, but for Minnesota Duluth, right down the middle, they go to Sarah Kelly and they go to her offense.
Yeah, Stephen, what is going to be so effective for the Bulldogs tonight is their offense is not just based off one person. They have women that are hitting in the middle, the outside, and the right side. So their offense is very widespread and very effective.
Did that hit the line? No. Just long, and Minnesota Duluth will get it back. Keena Seifert. Her uncle Greg played tight end at the University of Minnesota, an athletic family, as the Dogs have scored 3 straight. A block at the net, not good enough. Kelly was there. She's basically the do-it-all for Minnesota Duluth.
Definitely going to be their star, their go-to, the one that they look for to produce offensively.
Kelly 5th in hitting percentage in the NSIC, 2nd in kills as the Dragons with an opportunity just to push. On the far side, they go to Kate Berg. Down the left field line wide, and it's 4-4. A spirited Dragon start here at 4-4.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that. I think that got Jenkins either on her face or her shoulder. She dug that pass with her upper half and not her arms.
That's spirited, and so is that. That is Sarah Kelly. The Bulldogs go to their bench first. Sydney Lanou, a freshman of Tracy, Minnesota. She had 2,000 kills and 1,000 digs in her high school career. She'll serve here. Fielded cleanly, but now Minnesota Duluth switches it to offense. That one goes long off the fists of Lauren Kiewit. I think defensively it was a look what I found kind of a moment as she couldn't believe she had the ball, but was able to get it over the net. 6-4, good low driving serve. The Dragons go backwards. Over the net it goes, Taylor Thorson. And that is unstoppable. Monica Vega, as great as she is digging the ball, one of the best ever here at MSUM, couldn't stop that thunder from Sarah Kelly.
Yeah, we've said it all year too. If Monica Vega can't dig it, it was a hard swing.
Monica Vega digs a lot. Nobody could have dug that. The Dragons stopped the run, cut it to 7-5.
And Steve, with the Dragons here tonight, you're going to see multiple setters coming into position. So you're going to see the Dragons are going to be hitting off a Kiewit. You have Becca Kane coming in. She's been seeing some setting action with the Dragons. So Dragons are going to be seeing a lot of different setters tonight.
They tried to go to Berg. Off speed by Kelly wasn't good enough. The Dragons try to finesse it over. Now it's Berg again. Try number 2. A Vega dig. And now a little hook shot. Emily Torby doing her best Karina Abdul-Jabbar, a little left-handed hooker, and the chemical engineering major just engineered A little dump on the right side.
Yep.
8-5, Minnesota Duluth.
To see a setter so confident, so quick too, that's definitely why she's effective in running her team's offense.
A stretch by Seifert. And then that ball was tipped. 9-5 Minnesota Duluth. So this Minnesota Duluth squad under Jim Boos, who's looking for career win number 460, looking to qualify for the NCAAs for the 16th time in 17 years. Wait till you hear these numbers, Alexis, as there's a carry. 3 years ago, Minnesota Duluth did not make the national playoffs. They went 23-8. That's how great this program has been. 10-5, Minnesota Duluth has the early 5-point lead.
First thing I do every morning when I get up is look out the window and see what the sky is doing. The neighbors kind of all know I'm into this, so I'll get calls or texts saying, oh, there's 2 eagles in the trees over here. I have a lot of relatives who live in other parts of the state, and they see them on TV, and it always kind of makes them feel like they're connected. Keep an eye on the sky and be ready. You never know what might show up.
The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. There's a place where teaching and learning are transforming lives, where relationships drive deeper, more meaningful exploration and discovery based on mutual respect and trust, where you'll discover who you are and what you can achieve when you head out into the world to make it better. Life is more than a journey. It is a chance to transform.
run here, trailing 14-8. Here in set number 1. Right down the middle goes Hannah Meyer. This is off fingertips and out. 14-9. There's that run, the Dragons. You can control tempo when you have the serve. So Lauren Kiewit, sophomore out of Prior Lake, Minnesota. Slap it over the net. Here on the near side, Hannah Meyer gets denied. Madison Wassing, just a freshman. She was part of the state champion in Harrisburg High School down around Sioux Falls, and the Dragons are back to within 4.
And we already saw that block tonight by Jenkins and Wassing, so if they can keep that rhythm together at the net, that's really going to help the Dragons.
Rhythm and tempo. And there's no rhythm and no tempo, and Minnesota Duluth is going to exercise their first timeout. The Dragons on that little roll, now only trailing by 3.
Update or download to the all-new MSUM Dragons app on iTunes and Google Play. The new app features customized following of only your favorite Dragons teams, incredible in-app live stats and media coverage, and our Fired Up Rewards program all in one easy-to-use app. Update your Dragons app, search MSUM in your app store, or visit msumdragons.com/app to download the new MSUM Dragons app today. Get fired up for the new Shop MSUMDragons.com, the official online store of Dragon Athletics, featuring top brands like Under Armour, Adidas, Columbia, and more. Get gear in women's, youth, toddler, and infant sizes, perfect for all of our Dragon fans. Support your favorite Dragon team with Select a Logo. Anything custom ships in 72 hours. And take your tailgating to the next level with items like bleacher chairs, tailgate tents, and lawn chairs. Get the gear and support your team with profits going directly to Dragon Athletics from Shop MSUMDragons.com.
Hello everyone, welcome back in. We have our player comparison. Setter right side, Lauren Kiewit for the Dragons and Sarah Kelly. Both up there on their setting assists, but also on their attacking percentages. Steve, we were just talking about attacking percentages here. Both teams hitting in that 250, 220 range. So going back and forth, both teams are kind of getting their share of attacks. Here we have Lauren Kiewit. She's been a huge dominant setter for the Dragons with 458 set assists, and you know this isn't going to be the last we see of her. Only her sophomore season, and right there couldn't quite come up with that dig, but she does a lot for the Dragons.
That player comparison was sponsored by Matt Buss, 15-12. Minnesota Duluth gets off the bus, increase their lead to 3. Here comes Mackenzie Morgan. It's a lot easier to think when you don't have a hood on and you're getting rained on like you did for 3.5 hours, for 3 hours out on the football field. It's pretty nice being in the booth, isn't it?
Yes, it's nice just to sit down, relax, and watch some good volleyball.
16-12. Minnesota Duluth looking to play volleyball for another month and a half. Looking good that they would make the NCAA playoffs. They came in this weekend as the number 5 seed as Vega somehow comes up with it. Her teammates bail her out as Carlson gets it over the net. And the Dragons sneak it over. Cheekiness from Tammy Blake's squad.
You know, and it's so hard because we see these spurts of energy. Lauren Kiewit just pushing it over there. We see these spurts of energy from the Dragons, and sometimes they get in this hole, but when they're up and they're clicking, it's hard to stop their momentum.
Hard to stop that as well. Hannah Meyer makes it 17-13 as Jim Boos goes back to his bench. Megan Freeberg and Sarah Kelly, their little thunder and lightning will come in. 17-13 as Seifert serves. A driving knuckleball to the back. Vega will put it up. Amanda Carlson brings it down. So does Minnesota Duluth. Over on the far side, Kate Berg out of Medina, Minnesota. All NSIC second team, started all 33 matches last year for the Bulldogs, who were back up by 5.
Exceeding expectations. Getting better every day. It doesn't happen by chance. Preparation pays off. So the only question to ask yourself is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
All right, let's take a look at those national rankings. These are the national rankings. These are different than the regional rankings. Minnesota Duluth checking in at number 8. They finished the national rankings 10th 3 years ago when they didn't make the NCAA playoffs. Concordia St. Paul, who lost last night, are they going to stay at number 1?
I'm not quite sure. With 4 losses, but still at number 1 ranked nationally. Concordia St. Paul is a great team, but we saw them get upset by SMSU, UMD, and Northern State. So all very high competitive teams, and they've been competitive throughout this season. So I think it's going to be kind of tough to keep them at that number 1 spot.
It seems to me, and I don't follow this sport as much as you do, since you're doing a lot of play-by-play in color here for Dragon home games, but the central region and therefore the country is wide open. It's not just a team from the central or Concordia St. Paul. This could literally be a wide open central field. 18-14 as we play later on here in set number 1. Berg gets it done, just like the Dragons did on the football field. You watched the game earlier on WDAY, 51-26. The Dragon football team got to win number 6. The volleyball team trying to get to win number 10 as Lanu serves. A little tap over the net, good enough by Amanda Carlson. You talk about those spurts, Alexis, and those bursts of energy throughout this 10-match losing streak that the Dragons are on now. For the home matches, including last night, what has the energy been like?
Energy-wise, the Dragons, I believe, have been down. You know, you're kind of getting to the end of the season, kind of grueling. You know, we just saw Amanda Carlson there, and she is someone that the Dragons have relied on heavily, almost too much, because you tire her out. She's swinging from the outside and the back row, continuing through sets. So, you know, we've talked about how we want the Dragons to spread out their offense a little bit more and not be so predictable and reliable on one hitter.
Berg punches it over. Gobbled up by Lanu. Now the Dragons are scrambling. On the far side, Morgan. Vega. That one off the block attempt of Conwisher and Carlson, and it's 21-15.
They're on the Dragon block, late on it. Ball goes off the fingertips. So the Dragons, as I said before, having to keep with that tempo of UMD's offense, and they have to have that block, and it needs to get there quicker.
Like that. Beautiful block that time by Morgan, the senior. She was at UMBC, and she led UMBC. That's the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, or as we called it growing up in Baltimore, you must be crazy. The Retrievers, a local college in Baltimore, or they called it Harvard on the Hill. I think they like Harvard on the Hill better than you must be crazy. 22-16, we kid because we like. 22-16, UMD leads the Dragons. This is Carlson. Too long. So the Dragons had that one burst where they got back to within a couple, and now Minnesota Duluth just flexing their muscle a little bit too much.
Yep, they're capitalizing on the Dragon errors, the missed serves, the shanky passes. They're just capitalizing on the Dragons' mistakes.
They turned to offense here, and Morgan, yes.
A positive here for the Dragons. They're running their middles on that right side as a slide. Here, like I said, you saw UMD is great offensive transition. The Dragons weren't quite able to get over there, but positive for the Dragons. They're trying to utilize as much as they can.
Vega can't run that one down, and Minnesota Duluth runs off and hides in set number 1. The Bulldogs win at 25-16. You're watching live coverage of MSU Moorhead Dragons volleyball on WDAY Extra.
With everything that happens in a day, it's nice to have options. That's why we're making it easier for you to get news that fits your schedule.
WDAY WDAZ News, first on at 4.
Working hard to bring you more breaking news throughout the region and weather that will impact your area, all at a time that works for you. The first in the region, your trusted team, keeping you informed when you need to know most.
WDAY WDAZ News, first on at 4.
Prosperity is today's investment in tomorrow's promise. The promise of a better way of life. With every act of kindness, every act of creation, and with every act of love, we strengthen our community. And when we stand together as a community, we accomplish the impossible. We can choose to pass through life, or we can choose to pass on a better way of life.
Liddy here with another lesson.
Okay, gotta make a list. Pay cable bill, research car insurance rates, get groceries. And my student loan payment is due next week.
You look stressed. If you're worried about money, try riding that bus.
There is a bus stop pretty close to my job. I could give it a try.
Awesome. More conditioner?
Thanks a lot.
He learned his lesson. Join us and take the challenge to ride green.
Heading to Fargo-Moorhead to get away and have a little fun? Book your room at the highly rated Microtel Inn & Suites. It's conveniently located just off 8th Street and I-94. Clean rooms and all the amenities you need to relax and recharge after a fun day out. Plus, when you wake up, you can enjoy a free hot breakfast. What are you waiting for? Book your room today at the Microtel Inn & Suites in Moorhead. Call 218-284-4022 or visit microtelmoorhead.com.
Welcome back inside Alex Nemzik Fieldhouse. Steve DeStatio and Alexis Kennedy. This almost makes you cry because Monica Vega has been such an integral part of this program.
Monica has played almost every single point of every single match for the longest time, and she keeps the Dragons in a lot of these rallies. She is scrappy, she is consistent, so to see her go next year, it's going to be tough shoes to fill. I mean, 1,756 digs. She is just great in defensive for the Dragons. It will be very sad to see her go.
The good thing is, just like you, a student athlete, after this year, you're going to move on to bigger and better things. Monica, or not necessarily better, but you move on with your lives. Monica Vega is going to move down to Arizona, according to our head coach, Tammy Blake, and go to grad school. So good luck to her. And just like you, thank you for being a Dragon. Monica Vega, like you mentioned, what she does in volleyball with her defense is what Jake Richter does, catching the football, just the spectacular when you really aren't expecting it.
Yep.
That's what's been fun for me in the limited matches I've watched with Monica Vega.
Yep, exactly. Just great defensive presence.
All right, Minnesota Duluth starts. Emily Torvey out of Loretta, Minnesota, and the Dragons get off to the early 1-0 lead here in the second set as Tammy Blake goes to her bench and Taylor Thorson out of Brandon, South Dakota will come in.
We've talked about Taylor Thorson too. You know, she's a junior. She'll more than likely be filling those libero footsteps possibly next year, and I think Tammy's tried to get her in, get those reps in the back row, and you know, might not be quite as great as Monica Vega, but Taylor Thorson does a great job patrolling the back row as well defensively.
Summer Ballard out of Crystal, Minnesota, who was the kills leader for Robinson Cooper last year. Couldn't convert that. Do they go back to her? No, they go right down the middle, and there's a couple of Dragons at the net. A punch to the far side, run down by Kate Berg. This will not be able to be run down by Lauren Kiewit, and a spirited third point goes to Minnesota Duluth. What adjustments are you making if you're Tammy Blake to try to knot this thing up at 1?
We've talked about it before, like I said in the beginning, that first pass is so crucial. UMD is such a strong serving team as well, but the Dragons, in order to run their offense and use their middles, they have to have a clean first pass and also the block, which I was hoping we would see. Jenkins got to be on her game, as well as Kylie Conway should be a presence at the net.
Kiewit, Carlson, Jenkins, Sounds like a law firm. That goes into the net. There's some of those service errors you were talking about the Dragons were guilty of in set number 1.
You know, and sometimes it's not just the service errors too, it's just mis-hitting errors and a lot of miscommunication. And, you know, the Dragons are a very, very young team, and it's something that they'll grow hopefully into within the next few years.
Here on the near side, getting a running start was Kate Berg, but she flew it a little too far to the right. 4-2 as Lexi Gilbertson, freshman from Moorhead High. So she played under Charlene. I don't know if you remember Erin Lean, who played here and starred here, one of the better basketball players ever to play at MSU Moorhead, who graduated just a couple of years ago. Erin said, Steve, we've got a gymnasium for you. And I said, if you do, let me know about it, because no other gymnasium has worked thus far. There's a slam at the net by Amanda Carlson, and the Dragons not only maintain their lead, they bump it up to 2.
Something the Dragons have kind of initiated here is having Amanda Carlson swing on that right side there. She is such a good, consistent arm for the Dragons, and they've just implemented now having her swing not just on the outside, but having her swing on that right side of rotation.
There's a dump attempt, and Emily Torvey will score and cut it back to 1. So we stay tight here in set number 2. One of our special days. We get 1 or 2 of these a year. Steve DeStatio, Alexis Kennedy, privileged to be up here, up at my old stomping grounds here. The box. And now it's for our great production crew. Our camera people are still here. Alex Nelson and our crew, John Webking, running around, hat backwards, getting everything done, putting out fires here on what is maybe the busiest day of the year. 2 games or 2 match, a football game and a volleyball match on television. And oh, by the way, a swimming meet over in the pool.
Yes,
That's a busy day.
3 of my roommates are swimmers, so I've got 2 divers over there and a swimmer. If you are around here, go check them out. I know we couldn't do coverage of them today, but I'm sure they'd love some support from the Dragon community.
The Dragons try to settle. And that ball goes just long. Madison Wassing had to stretch with her right arm and flew that ball out. So we're tied at a half dozen here early in set number 2.
Something to point out here, you have our 3 freshmen. You have Lexi Gilbertson, Amanda Carlson, and Madison Wassink. The 3 outsides that Tammy Blank has been trying to utilize and get into the offense for the Dragons.
A little tip and just getting enough of it was Summer Ballard. And it's 7-6. Minnesota Duluth assumes its first lead here in set number 2. They took set number 1, 25-16. A deep driving serve has the Dragons off balance, and now Minnesota Duluth coming down with it. Mackenzie Morgan, the Dragons have an answer. There's no answer to that as the Dragons tie it up. We look at the out-of-town scores. Bemidji leads at Mary 2-1, 22-19 as they try to close out. Minot State beat Crookston in 3. Winona State won at Augustana. Winona State trying to hang around as they were one of 3 teams vying for the 8th and final spot in the NSIC tournament, which comes up after next weekend, as having the answer on the block is Emily Torvey, Summer Ballard. Southwest won in straight sets. Northern beat St. Cloud in straight sets. Sioux Falls wins set number 1 over Concordia, 25-15, and leads set number 2, 9-6. Your eyebrows raised. Are you smelling potential upset?
Interesting, yes. But like I said before, Concordia St. Paul already been upset 4 times, 4 losses, but they still have that number 1 spot. And you know, they kind of have a target on the back. Defending national champs, you're going to have a target on your back.
Anytime you play Concordia St. Paul with all those banners, you're bringing your A game. 8-8. Right down the middle, Monica Vega ducking for her life.
Steve, if you look here on the UMD offense, you know, I talked about how they're such fast pace. Watch their passes compared to the Dragons. The Dragons are kind of high, sporadic. UMD is very low, right to their setter, so they can keep that offense moving.
That ball finds some chalk. Kiewit with the kill. So races within races this time of year, especially in volleyball, probably the most competitive sport in the NSIC, just because of how many national championships have been won by Concordia St. Paul and how good this league is. These Bulldogs, Northern State, Wayne State, Southwest, I mean, they just, Mankato's good, Upper Iowa.
It's a very, very competitive league, and it's a hard league to compete and play in. Not even just with the Dragons here, but other teams struggling against some of the top teams, and not even just the state, the Midwest, the whole entire United States.
10-10, Seifert serves. Dragons trying to retake the lead. Some confusion. Vega observes. Vega defends. That ball might have tiptoed up on a catwalk upstairs. And now a carry by Minnesota Duluth, and the Dragons have the lead. Tammy Blake in her 24th year, looking to stay above the 500 mark. She's the winningest coach here at MSUM as she stands up, gets on the court, and shouts out some instructions. The Dragons, what Minnesota Duluth is doing now, the Dragons did back in the old days. Tammy Blake won or made NCAA appearances 3 times between 2000 and 2005. And I didn't know this, I looked this up. Tammy Blake scored 1,802 career basketball points. So she didn't just start on the volleyball court, she was a multi-sport star athlete at a Sergeant Bluff High School in Iowa.
Wow.
Dragons look to retake the lead, and I heard one of the Bulldogs yell out, but Keena Seifert had already touched the ball. Back and forth we go here in set number 2.
Sometimes too on those high balls, it's just reaction. Cover your face, trying to grab it, but generally the rule of thumb is if it's above your shoulders, let it go.
Conwisher. She used to star at Shanley High School. Staying to play here locally. There's the correct call made by Madison Morgan, and that time Seifert didn't even have time to stick her hand up.
UMD here coming in with some blocks. UMD with 2, Moorhead 3, but UMD is getting such great touches on the Dragons offense that it's slowing it down and enabling them, and, you know, kind of making the Dragons sit back on their heels, reaching, let's see, forward, out. That's why you're seeing a lot of balls go out and not quite in.
That one didn't even make it across the net by Sioux Falls native Madison Wasink. And now the Bulldogs serve with the lead. Berg finds Vega. And now Minnesota Duluth will set it up again. Here on the near side, Morgan. Wasson couldn't put it away, and now a whistle, and what happened?
Net violation there, so you are not allowed to go under or over the net and inflict with the other play. I believe it was, let's see, Lanu, she went under the net, interfered with the play, and there goes the Dragons.
It's legal until you get caught, as Sarah Kelly puts Minnesota Duluth back on top.
You have to credit a lot of success for UMD to their setter too, Torvey here, pushing that all the way to the right side. That is not an easy set to do on the run, and she made it look pretty dang easy.
Well, I'm looking at the hitting percentages that they put up on the boards. The Dragons are hitting under 9%. That seems like an awfully low number to me. Is that a correct assumption?
Yep, generally you want to hit in that 200, the .223, .224. Generally that means you're getting some good swings in. When you're going under 100, you know, we've seen it, you're going out, you're hitting into the net, getting blocked, so yeah, you're correct. Not exactly the best to be hitting under that.
That Wasink kill hit fingertips, and it's 15-14, so the Dragons are hanging around here in set number 2 as Kane serves long. So we've seen this a couple different times now. The Dragons had this little momentum. Remember, they had a 4 or 5-0 run in the first set when they fell behind, and then it was a service error.
Yep, and that's been a common theme all year too, Steve. It's just you get the ball back, you fight so hard for it, and then you just give it right back to them with an error or service ace.
It's almost like an interception in football. I mean, you saw the football team. They've only, the quarterbacks have only thrown 3 interceptions. Live the fight another day. If you got to punt and you got to just push the ball over, that's fine, but at least you get another opportunity where a service error, you're giving away points, literally. That's an earned point. It's coming right down Broadway. It was Hannah Meyer, the Tomahawk, Wisconsin native, puts the hammer down. It's 17-15, Dogs up by a deuce. Here's Kelly. Check that, that's Morgan. Even Morgan can't contain that. Kiewit. Trying not to let Minnesota Duluth go on a roll. Now at the Dragons. Sure, Tammy Blake is trying to concoct a little 4 or 5-0 run here. There's the block at the net. And now the Dragons transition.
Yep, and when you have that first great pass there like you had from Thorson, you're able to run your middles, and Conwashi was able to pull over. It's called a 32 or a 33. It's more of a push set, not just straight up in the middle like a 1 or a 2 like that.
You threw some of those numbers at me last year, and I went home and I Googled them, and I still couldn't find the answers. So you keep throwing down the 4-1-1, and then I'll just sit here and pretend like I know something. I do know the Dragons lead it 18-17 here as we get late in set number 2.
From the time you were little, bouncing off the walls, you were told, go do something. And so you did. Then one day you found yourself in a cap and gown. Now, go do something was an invitation. Or was it a challenge? Go with Midco. We connect you with powerful, innovative technology. That's the start. Your drive and vision do the rest. Go do something. Yeah, that's definitely a challenge. You and Midco. Let's go.
Alexis, I'm going to drop some 411 on you. Promotional Solutions is a collection of marketers, creators, designers, finance guys, and fangirls with a passion for good products and design. They strive every day to live up to their namesake by creating awesome promotional solutions. Visit Promotional Solutions for all of your promo product, apparel, and marketing needs at promotingus.com. Dragon fans, Matt Buss has been serving the Fargo-Moorhead area since 1974. And new from Matt Buss is Link FM. It's the fun, fast, and free way to get around downtown. For more information, go to www.mattbus.com. Try it today. Go green. Ride Matt Buss. Are you a Matt Buss rider when you go downtown?
No, not quite. I'm more of an Uber or a Lyft.
You're an Uber. Don't Uber. See, Matt Buss is the fun and free way to get around downtown. So maybe the 411 I just gave you will help you in your future endeavors, and you're going green.
Yes.
See, we can still teach the student athlete. Alexis thinks she's an old dog. We can still teach her new tricks. She's a senior. That's upperclassman spirit. 18-18, we're locked up in a good second set, and there's that blocking you advertised earlier.
Yep, when they're on and they're clicking and in sync, it works so well for the Dragons. Here, we were tied up 18-18, as well as referencing back to those attacking percentages. UMD hitting a 302, MSUM back up to 283. So just like the score, hitting-wise, they're pretty even again.
There's a Dragon. Quick attack, a sneak attack. The Dragons have won just 2 sets in their last 32 tries during this 10-match losing streak. They're 5 points away here in set number 2.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Moorhead, talk to State Farm agent Dave Eggers.
Get fired up for the new Shop MSUMDragons.com, the official online store of Dragon Athletics, featuring top brands like Under Armour, Adidas, Columbia, and more. Get gear in women's, youth, toddler, and infant sizes, perfect for all of our Dragon fans. Support your favorite Dragon team with Select a Logo. Anything custom ships in 72 hours. And take your tailgating to the next level with items like bleacher chairs, tailgate tents, and lawn chairs. Get the gear and support your team with profits going directly to Dragon Athletics from Shop MSUMDragons.com.
Welcome back. Steve DeStatio, Alexis Kennedy, Alex Nelson behind me, our great student-run staff. Or student staff, not student-run. Or are the students running? They saw me. One of them wanted to run. They're going to hang out and do some volleyball. This is long. It's 21-18. Alexis, I mentioned the Dragons are 4 points away. They haven't seen the finish line in many sets recently. What do you think they are thinking as a fellow student athlete right now?
I think right now, you know, it's the last game of the season.
Home,
and, you know, kind of going out with a bang and giving it all. I know a lot of the times, you know, you're playing for the person next to you, and I think Monica Vega brings a lot, and a lot of them are playing for her tonight.
Are they thinking about that stuff that hasn't gone well, or are they just playing?
Honestly, at this point, you know, nearing the end, it's kind of just you're out there to play,
okay,
and out there to have fun and do what you love to do.
Gilbertson couldn't put it away, and then she couldn't come up with that block, and Minnesota Duluth says not so fast. 1 point set here late in set number 2.
Exceeding expectations. Getting better every day. It doesn't happen by chance. Preparation pays off. So the only question to ask yourself is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
You always do this. You had a couple of pops in you and got cocky. Who's up for a game of wing roulette, you said? Because you thought it'd be funny to watch one of your friends get stuck with the hot one. But your friends, they got teriyaki, then spicy garlic, and then Asian zing. And now you're looking at the last one and you're thinking, my God, what have I done?
Hello everyone, welcome back in. We just took a timeout here, but the Dragons did. Getting back in. Dragons are up 21-20.
There's a point. How did they get it? What did Tammy Blake talk about?
You know, the UMD block is so present tonight, and the Dragons can't keep doing the same hardcore cross shots. So I believe in that timeout there, I saw some hand motion to, you know, go around it, go through the block, use the block to your advantage, and don't hit into it.
Sarah Kelly couldn't dive into a kill, and now the Dragons looking for the 3-point lead. Not yet. Now they get it. As going wide was Kate Berg, and you can just feel this Dragon momentum. I think they are just playing right now, just having fun and letting it flow.
Well, and the thing too is, it's like it's you wish you could see this all season. You know, going on a 10-match losing streak, it's hard, and to see them smile and happy and, you know, win a set, possibly, would be great.
Well, they get 4 set points. 24-20 as that kill attempt goes wide. Minnesota Duluth appears to be back on its heels. This is Amanda Carlson. And that ball goes out, and the Dragons get a set. They got one earlier this year against Duluth. They beat Duluth last year. We're tied at a set. Back with more after this. You're watching live coverage of MSU Moorhead Dragons volleyball on WDAY's Extra.
Update or download to the all-new MSUM Dragons app on iTunes and Google Play. The new app features customized following of only your favorite Dragons teams, incredible in-app live stats and media coverage, and our Fired Up Rewards program all in one easy-to-use app. Update your Dragons app, search MSUM in your app store, or visit MSUMDragons.com/app to download the new MSUM Dragons app today.
Another day. And just like every day, it never seems to slow down. But you have a plan. Grab a cup, grab the paper, and grab a little time. Just for you. It's worth it. Don't get the paper? Just grab the phone. Call now and save up to 60% off the newsstand price. Journalists, bringing the story home every day.
It's a new stay at the Courtyard by Marriott, located just minutes from downtown Fargo, local colleges, shopping centers, and several restaurants. The Courtyard features a 24-hour fitness center, 24-hour on-site Starbucks, and our bistro restaurant and lounge open for breakfast and dinner daily. Relax in one of our 2 indoor swimming pools and hot tub. The comfort your family needs close to all the action at the Courtyard by Marriott. Visit our website or call 218-284-1000. That's 218-284-1000.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
The she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shed?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Dave Eggers at 218-233-1334 today.
Alexis Kennedy, and we are tied at a set apiece. Let's see how we got there. Minnesota Duluth took the first set. So much more fun here inside. So just relax, playing some volleyball. That was Kaylin Jennings. Minnesota Duluth would come back on the far side. Mackenzie Morgan out of Appleton, Wisconsin. And that ball goes wide, and the Dragons were trying to stick around in set number 1, but it was just a little too much. Morgan and Kelly, Minnesota Duluth, would take set number 1, 25-16, but then the Dragons would come back in set number 2. A little tip across at the net by Kaylin Jenkins. She seems to find her way into the highlights often. Kate Berg, Medina, Minnesota native. Minnesota Duluth trying to hang around late in the second set, but it was too much Dragons. There was a little sky hook, and the Dragons would win. Set number 2, 1-1. Alexis Kennedy is going to tell us statistically what she sees in these first 2 sets.
Statistically here, looking at the attacking percentage, earlier in that 18-19 point, the attacking percentage were almost the same. MSUM pulling ahead here, hitting .228. So obviously crediting them to that second set, winning, and they're also just offensively spreading themselves around. They're not just going to their one player. They're being unpredictable, which is something that we've wanted all year round. As well as their blocks, they're putting it to UMD and kind of getting and sinking in a rhythm, and I think that might have maybe shocked UMD, kind of put them back on their heels. UMD, though, obviously don't count them out. They're here hitting as well, with 3 blocks just behind them, 23 digs, hitting percentage. I guarantee that'll probably go up a little bit too. But overall, a pretty even match tonight. Both teams swinging. Another stat to look at here was 8 service aces from UMD already, or at least that was on the board. Steve?
Stats sponsored by Midco. Let's take a look at the Shuck Bus Service. Look around the league. Bemidji State leading at Mary. Minot State winners earlier today. They took care of Minnesota Crookston. Southwest took care of Mankato. Winona won down in Sioux Falls against Augustana. Northern State sweeps St. Cloud. The University of Sioux Falls is up 2-0. They are early in the 3rd set. That would be huge. And Wayne State and Upper Iowa got off to a late start.
I want to know what's going down in Sioux Falls and Concordia. I don't know.
Some good stuff.
Must be some good volleyball.
The University of Sioux Falls came in 12-5 in the NSIC. They won 3-1 last night versus Mankato, and now they're trying to take down Concordia St. Paul's. Minnesota Duluth and Hannah Meyer, they get on the board first. Steve DeStatio, Alexis Kennedy, the whole crew is here. Alex Nelson running the controls. John Webking, the executive producer of Dragons Live, just doing what he can to stay sane today, as a lot going on here at Alex Nemzik on the hardwood, in the swimming pool, and outside on the field turf where the Dragons beat Minot State 51-26. Abby Thor couldn't get a score, but now her mates come up with the goods, and it's 2-0 Minnesota Duluth. Again, they were winners in 5 last night down at Northern State. Meyer and Thor came up with the block. Meyer tries to go cross court. And now into the net go the Dragons and Amanda Carlson. And it's an early 3-0 lead for Minnesota Duluth.
Yeah, and that was kind of just not exactly a smart play. She looked like she was going to pass it over, but then changed her mind to hit it, and obviously it didn't work out well for her.
Did that hit fingertips?
Line judge calling.
Yes. Berg will get credit, and Tammy Blake walks onto the court, and she's trying to talk to Monica Vega. It's 4-0. Minnesota Duluth has come out of the gate here after losing set number 2, and maybe that's what Tammy Blake said, throw the ball down. Jenkins, the junior out of Hudson, Wisconsin. We put up the graphic earlier. Alexis, Monica Vega, the only senior on this squad. A lot of FRs and SOs, so a lot of youngsters on this Dragon squad. On the far side, Kate Berg hits the chalk. It's 5-1 Duluth.
Yep, going back to the youthfulness of the Dragons. Here, great swing by Kate Berg. You know, you're going to have Jenkins and Thorsons next year. They're going to be the seniors. They're going to be ones that are going to be looked to for some leadership. And, you know, they have seen some consistent playing time, both of them, as well as, you know, just running and working with the whole entire Dragon offense.
6-1 as Seifert serves. And I think Tammy Blake's had enough. She'll take the timeout. Minnesota Duluth has come out of the gate, firing on all cylinders here in set number 3.
Dragon Swim School is proud to offer year-round swimming and diving lessons with the lowest student-to-instructor ratio around. Lessons are available for all levels, including parent-child sessions and preschool. Help your child learn to love the water in a safe and caring environment with us at Dragon Swim School. Visit msumdragons.com/swim for more information. That's msumdragons.com/swim.
Herbert & Gerbert's wants to know, what's your favorite sandwich?
My personal favorite is the Flash. It's got all that meat and that Italian flavor that I can't get enough of.
You know, the first time I was at Herbert & Gerbert's, I couldn't decide if I wanted ham or turkey, so I got the Gerf. Got both.
I like the Pompeii, because I like chicken salad, but it also has that sweet chili sauce.
Experience Flavor Nation for yourself with the classic, specialty, and signature menus at Herbert & Gerbert's with 4 convenient FM locations, 1 in Bismarck and 1 in Grand Forks. Or order online and have it delivered at herbertandgerberts.com.
There is Jim Boos. Alexis, he's been a 5-time Coach of the Year. 3 in the NSIC, 2 in the NCC, 4-time Regional Coach of the Year, 2-time National Coach of the Year, and I mentioned earlier, 15 of his 16 years, his Bulldogs have made the NCAA tournament, and his worst year, they finished ranked 10th in the country. That's his worst year. That means he's doing pretty good.
He is doing some great things with this program, and, you know, making it a competitive and, you know, not just a 1 year we were good. It's been a consistent that they are dominant, consistent, and just a powerhouse of a volleyball team.
no national championships for Duluth. I'm sure that's the one thing on his resume that's what you want, because every time I go into Duluth, I see their hockey championship. Remember, they just won the NCAA. That's a Division I.
Yeah.
I know there's only 60 whatever teams, as Minnesota Duluth is up 9-2, but they won a Division I national championship again last year. Their women compete every year, and they're terrific. And then in football, they won 2. So they got it going on, as the Dragons don't have it going on here in the third set as they've fallen behind. But those big gold trophies that say NCAA champion, it's quite the thrill to see. Is this team good enough to win? All of it.
All of it, I think they're a good contender, but I do think they have to be on their A game. You know, just dropping a set to the Dragons here, but then having some good upsets. Volleyball's one of those games, it's a momentum shifter, and anybody can beat anybody on a given day.
The longest point of the third set comes to an end as Emily Torvey finds some open floor, and it's 11-2 Minnesota Duluth.
Yeah, kind of a common theme here that's kind of happened all season for the Dragons. You know, they had that spurt of energy, second set, coming out, winning it 25-20, and then they dig themselves in this hole of 6, 7, 8 points, and it's hard just to climb back out. It doesn't matter what team you are. It's hard to dig yourself out of those 6, 7, 8 point holes.
Is this what you've seen? Has this been the theme?
This has been a very common theme. The hole, trying to get back out, and then you have your spurts, you have great blocks like that, and it hasn't been consistent.
Carlson and Conwisher, we've mentioned that duet before. They play in the middle of set 3 down in Sioux Falls, and the University of Sioux Falls already up 2-0 leads Concordia St. Paul 13-10, is coming up with a clean whack. Kate Berg, a 9-point lead for Minnesota Duluth.
Yeah, we talked about Sarah Kelly being a dominant force, but Kate Berg showing some of her stuff tonight.
She'll just nonchalantly bop this serve over the net. And here come the Bulldogs. They go back to Kelly or Morgan, and she'll miss. Boy, you talk about Vega being the lone senior. 8 and 9. Morgan and Kelly, that's a lot, Alexis, that's a lot. Morgan and Kelly, but they're the only 2 seniors on this Bulldog squad.
Well, and I think that shows, too, for the Bulldogs that it's not just one dominating class that has come through for 4 years. It has been consistent with UMD having multiple powerhouse classes coming in, just being good on all cylinders, not just, 1, 2 dominant people.
Freeberg. That blast by Morgan contained, or at least blocked, into some freedom. 13-5, as here is Vega. She will serve out of Ada, Minnesota. She scored 1,000 points in basketball at Ada Borup. And she makes the correct judgment on that whack that goes out of bounds, and the Dragons were just trying to claw their way back into the second set, trailing 13-6. Morgan, seems like they keep going back to her on that left-hand side.
Yeah, she's being great right now for the Bulldogs, just being consistent and powerful, not just going up, rolling or tipping. She's just being a powerful swing up there at the net.
We talked about service errors earlier. There's a return error, if you will. Just probably something that should have been contained, wasn't contained.
Yep, I mentioned that very first thing we talked about in this match is the ability to control that first pass. You have to have that to run your offense, and again, it's been another struggle all season for the Dragons, unfortunately, and teams kind of pick up on that. They're picking up on where to go and where to serve, and they'll pick on you.
Minnesota Duluth in control here midway through the second set.
With everything that happens in a day, it's nice to have options. That's why we're making it easier for you to get news that fits your schedule.
WDAY WDAZ News, first on at 4.
Working hard to bring you more breaking news throughout the region and weather that will impact your area, all at a time that works for you. The first in the region, your trusted team, keeping you informed when you need to know most.
WDAY WDAZ News, first on at 4.
Prosperity is today's investment in tomorrow's promise. The promise of a better way of life. With every act of kindness, every act of creation, and with every act of love, we strengthen our community. And when we stand together as a community, we accomplish the impossible. We can choose to pass through life, or we can choose to pass on a better way of life.
Alexis, you've got me scoreboard watching. Can I be guilty of that?
Yeah,
This
you
is
can
kind of
be.
fun. The University of Sioux Falls, maybe on the precipice. When was the last time Concordia St. Paul dropped a weekend? It's just been, because every time I go down to the Gangelhoff Center, and I'll go there again in January, it's all you see are these national championship banners in volleyball. It's just year after year, and now they lost last night, and they're down 2-0, and they're down 16-14 at Sioux Falls in set number 3.
See, and what I'm going to be more surprised of if it's a sweep. You know, they've been getting beat in, 4, 5-set matches. I'm going to be very shocked if they are swept by Sioux Falls.
Well, I mean, they're
3.
15-2. They're still at the top of the league. One of their losses was last night at Southwest, 3-1. Yes, but if they get swept, there's a cheeky move by Gilbertson. But I guess just them getting beat would be as surprising to me as getting swept would be to you. Loss is a loss, and you just don't see a lot by Brady Starkey's Concordia St. Paul Golden Bear squad. Here comes Selensky, Bismarck Century product. I got to call a couple of their back-to-back championships over at the Fargo Dome. Actually, one of them was out in Minot.
Yeah, another kind of theme here with the Dragons too. Once they kind of get down, that's when you're going to start seeing the Dragons shuffle in a lot more of the freshmen and a lot of subbing in and out of the normal rotation. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a few new faces coming in here at the end of this third set.
Still 17-8, make it 18-8. You don't want to throw away a set because, like you said, momentum, a 10-point. I guess volleyball's a lot like basketball. A 10-point deficit can be erased with just a couple of big plays. Morgan across the net. Now the Dragons scramble. And right there at the net, Hannah Meyer, Abby Thor made it look easy.
If you look up at, out here too, you're seeing those new faces, seeing those freshmen, and it's one of those building years, I think, and just getting them experience. And coming in next year, they're going to know what to expect, and I think they're just getting a lot of good experience. Obviously, winning isn't happening, but at the same time, losing kind of builds character.
Kelly. The lead is 12. Upcoming for Minnesota Duluth is a 5-hour bus ride home in the late rain. Some Highway 10 and into Brainerd, and then on to Duluth, and then they are home for next weekend as they host Marion Minot. So you love their chances against Marion Minot at home next weekend. So you would think, as the 5th seed in the region, the top 8 make it. Now, in those rankings, there was nobody from the GAC, the Great America Conference. So one of them has to get in, and that might take away a spot of one of the top 8 right now.
Going back to your bus ride comment, sometimes when it's raining or snowing, it's nice just to lay down and watch a movie on your way home because you don't feel bad not being outside.
Seifert serving. Carlson with the clean kill. Freshman out of Phoenix. Conwisher in. Exit stage bench goes Monica Vega. 21-10, Minnesota Duluth leads it as the Dragons serve. That blast will hit the line. That's Hannah Meyer. So I had Concordia St. Paul, Northern, Duluth in the top 5. Is that going to be it in the region, as this is a net serve?
You don't have SMSU in that top 5?
I might have just stopped running because I ran out of paper. But yes, Southwest Minnesota State's probably in there too.
Yeah, they've kind of, I would compare them more to UMD. They're one of those teams where it's like, yeah, they're going to have a few losses, but also they're a very good powerhouse team and can come in and, you know, stay up.
Their win last night against Concordia St. Paul probably didn't hurt their chances of making the NCAAs.
Nope. That'll be some fun volleyball. Do they go to the Pentagon, right? Down in Sioux City or Sioux Falls? Sioux Falls. I watched the national, it was 2 years ago, and that was when Concordia was there as well, but then you had Florida Atlantic. They're another team up there in there that makes
perennial,
it.
Yep, perennial powerhouse. Even Vega couldn't come up with that, so you know it was good. Now Minnesota Duluth about to put the finishing touches here on set number 3. This is Kate Berg to serve. They make it look easy and they do it in quick fashion. Kelly with the kill. Minnesota Duluth wins set number 3, 25-11. You're watching live coverage of MSU Moorhead Dragons volleyball on WDAY Extra.
Liddy here with another lesson.
Okay, gotta make a list. Pay cable bill, research car insurance rates, get groceries. And my student loan payment is due next week.
You look stressed. If you're worried about money, try riding that bus.
There is a bus stop pretty close to my job. I could give it a try.
Awesome. More conditioner?
Thanks a lot.
He learned his lesson. Join us and take the challenge to ride green.
Heading to Fargo Moorhead to get away and have a little fun? Book your room at the highly rated Microtel Inn & Suites. It's conveniently located just off 8th Street and I-94. Clean rooms and all the amenities you need to relax and recharge after a fun day out. Plus, when you wake up, you can enjoy a free hot breakfast. What are you waiting for? Book your room today at the Microtel Inn & Suites in Moorhead. Call 218-284-4022 or visit microtelmoorhead.com.
From the time you were little, bouncing off the walls, you were told, go do something. And so you did. Then one day you found yourself in a cap and gown. Now, go do something was an invitation. Or was it a challenge? Go with Midco. We connect you with powerful, innovative technology. That's the start. Your drive and vision do the rest. Go do something. Yeah, that's definitely a challenge. You and Midco. Let's go.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Moorhead, talk to State Farm agent Dave Eggers.
Get fired up for the new Shop MSUMDragons.com, the official online store of Dragon Athletics, featuring top brands like Under Armour, Adidas, Columbia, and more. Get gear in women's, youth, toddler, and infant sizes, perfect for all of our Dragon fans. Support your favorite Dragon team with Select a logo. Anything custom ships in 72 hours. And take your tailgating to the next level with items like bleacher chairs, tailgate tents, and lawn chairs. Get the gear and support your team with profits going directly to Dragon Athletics from Shop MSUMDragons.com.
As we start set number 4, the Dragon women in gray. I'm sure there are a lot of adjustments, Alexis. How about 1 or 2 of them?
Yes, my first one, cleaning up that first pass. They have to be able to get that cleanly to their setter so they can run. Like I said before, the Dragons have multiple setters, and so that's a lot of communication and rhythm that has to go on between them. So to have a good, clean first pass, and when you have a good, clean first pass, you're not going to get into your holes. So you're getting into 5, 6, 7-point holes. That's something that just kind of sets everyone back. So to not get in a hole and clean up that first pass to run a good offense.
Thought that hit the floor. Apparently it didn't. And you know what? The Dragons didn't have a clean first pass, but what else can you do when the ball hits the net?
A lot of it too is just you have to be able to run through it. I remember like my coach from my college team, you have to run through it and stay on your feet, because that's when you have the best chance not to, just give up and dive, is run through it and get your feet there.
Carlson couldn't put it away. Conwisher swung and missed.
I always
1-1.
I always kind of wish sometimes too that, my old coaches, one played at the U and one actually trained with the Olympic team as a libero. So I've always kind of wanted to hear what their opinion is on, the past couple years of watching Dragon volleyball, and it's always been kind of interesting to see what maybe they think.
It is interesting. Can I do something else that's interesting?
Yes.
I don't get to do this very often. We want to welcome those viewers who just watched the University of Sioux Falls beat Concordia St. Paul 3-0.
Wow.
Steve DeStatio, Alexis Kennedy, your non-award-winning broadcasters here at Alex Nemzik Fieldhouse. It is 2-1, Minnesota Duluth. One time I won a ribbon on Everybody Wins a Ribbon Day. That's it for awards as far as I'm concerned. Watching Minnesota Duluth win the first 2 out of 3 sets. They lead 2-1 and now 3-2. Here in set number 4, Concordia St. Paul gets swept this weekend. Wow.
That's an upset, and especially coming from Sioux Falls, not one of these top tier teams that we've been talking about. So not a good weekend for Concordia St. Paul. 2 losses.
No, I'm looking at my top 10 teams as far as records in the NSIC, and oh no, Sioux Falls is 5th. They're now 13-5. They're now only 2 games behind Concordia for top honors in the NSIC. Excuse me, Cougars. Coup Nation.
Yeah, they came in and did a pretty good job on the Dragons as well. And that was Kylie Conwisher just did a pretty dang good job against UMD here. Great swing.
Upsets are fun. Not if you're a Golden Bear, though. Amanda Carlson serving, another service error.
Another service error. You gotta give yourself a chance. You can't just give the ball away. You gotta put it in their court and make them play the ball.
– 6-3 Minnesota Duluth with the early lead. Minor upset in football. I'll get to that in just a moment. On the near side, Berg. Dug out by Vega. How many times have we said dug out by Vega in the last 4 years? And the Dragons get rewarded. Vegas mates clean it up. St. Cloud State was in contention on the football field to make the national playoffs. Probably not anymore, as Bemidji State beats them in St. Cloud 37-24. So probably bye-bye St. Cloud State and their playoff chances.
So you're telling me that the next 2 weeks in football are going to be pretty interesting for the Dragons.
At Bemidji
Beavers and St. Cloud here.
Home against St. Cloud State. You'll be on the sidelines, won't you?
Yeah, hopefully it's not raining.
Dress warm.
I think it's going to be snowing by then.
Dress warm. 7-4, Minnesota Duluth leads here in set number 4. This is Kate Berg underneath the hoop. One of the nets is up, one of the nets is down. Vega. We'll have to get our Cracked Dragons Live squad to find out why one of the nets is up and one of the nets is down. We pay attention to the important things here at Dragons Live.
Another thing too with the Dragons, kind of talking about that clean first pass, you know, when you don't have that clean first pass, you give a lot of free balls over. And all season, it's kind of been a continuing theme of giving a lot of free balls, which free balls are great because that's able to free ball, run your offense.
There was a clean first pass, and the Dragon offense made it look easy. The transition to get back to within 3. As we had a close-up of Madison Wassink, freshman out of Sioux Falls. Morgan, that wasn't a great first pass by Minnesota Duluth, but they clean it up quickly.
Torvey is a great setter. Watch her hands the next few. She barely puts any spin on it. She gets her hips around it squared, and she does a lot of good things for UMD.
I haven't really looked at that. I'll pay more attention to that. So you're trying in a perfect world to knuckleball the ball up, no spin?
Basically, yep. It means you got a good clean touch on it.
All right, we'll look for that. There's a set. Knuckles free. Clean kill. Pay attention to Alexis Kennedy, boys and girls who are aspiring to be volleyball players. This is how you set and kill. Easy, isn't it? Then there's that jumping and athleticism thing.
Yeah. Reading the block, how to pass the ball.
Tipping the ball over, popping the
Serving.
ball out of bounds, all that stuff. See, you had me on knuckleballs and clean kills, and then
and then we get into blocking.
Back to the couch I go.
Defense.
Defense, what's that? 11-6, Bulldogs on top. Defense. Hitting from her back heels was Kaylin Jenkins, and Tammy Blake does not like the way her team has responded after they won set number 2. They trailed 12-6 here in set number 4.
Exceeding expectations. Getting better every day. It doesn't happen by chance. Preparation pays off. So the only question to ask yourself is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
You always do this. You had a couple of pops in you and got cocky. Who's up for a game of wing roulette, you said? Because you thought it'd be funny to watch one of your friends get stuck with the hot one. But your friends, they got teriyaki, then spicy garlic, and then Asian zing. And now you're looking at the last one and you're thinking, my God, what have I done?
12-6, Minnesota Duluth leads it here in set number 4. The Dragons trying to adjust. This is always an adjusting game.
Always.
What other than, hey, pick your chins up, pick your heads up, what else did Tammy Blake say?
I believe that they have to just play to play. They are, kind of back on their heels, getting tense. We're not seeing that same Dragon team in the second set that was just playing, just out there having fun. We're just seeing a very timid and a very scared Dragon team.
Exactly. Where do you think that energy went? There was so much energy. The crowd was fired up 1-1 going into set number 3, and it's been all Minnesota Duluth since.
Yeah, it's been point by point, and once again, you're in a 7-point deficit. That is hard to come back in a volleyball. It's definitely possible, but it's so hard. And when you're already, pushing into this 4th set, you have to have some good momentum going back and forth, but it's just you're in this hole.
Amanda Carlson trying to get the Dragons ship-righted. They trail 13-7. They trail 2-1 here on a long day for our Dragons live crew. Great job. It has been pretty seamless from my vantage point, Alexis.
Yeah, everyone's doing a great job down here.
Behind the scenes,
my camera guy was down on the field. Now he's down here doing camera 3 or 4. They're doing it all, and he's standing still.
No change of clothes either. That's toughness. Dragon toughness showing. There's a knuckleball serve, and then Minnesota Duluth is going to get a chance at that.
Hannah Meyer can jump.
I was just going to say, Hannah's got hops. It's 15-7 as Emily Torvey will, check that. That's Morgan serving. at the net. Abby Thor making things look easy as Tammy Blake comes back onto the floor, and she's going to go have a word with Becca Kane. 16-7 Minnesota Duluth here in set number 4.
First thing I do every morning when I get up is look out the window and see what the sky is doing. The neighbors kind of all know I'm into this, so I'll get calls or texts saying, oh, there's 2 eagles in the trees over here. I have a lot of relatives who live in other parts of the state, and they see them on TV, and it always kind of makes them feel like they're connected. Keep an eye on the sky and be ready. You never know what might show up.
Update or download to the all-new MSUM Dragons app on iTunes and Google Play. The new app features customized following of only your favorite Dragons teams, incredible in-app live stats and media coverage, and our fired-up rewards program all in one easy-to-use app. Update your Dragons app, search MSUM in your app store, or visit msumdragons.com/app to download the new MSUM Dragons app today.
16-7. The Dragons may not have a lot of rhythm right now, but Alexis Kennedy does up here in the booth. Do you ever slow down? Does your battery ever run low?
Yes, a lot of the times, but
okay,
you know what? I love my life, so it's okay.
We don't get to see it. We love the energy on the football field and the enthusiasm, even though it looked a little chilly out there. But
Actually,
just wait.
It wasn't horrible. Do you remember the Concordia St. Paul game last year, September 23rd? That rain was a lot worse.
December 23rd.
September.
Oh, pouring rain. Oh, yeah, a night game. Yes, I remember that. It was breezy, too. That's not fun. What's fun is the Dragons are back to within 7 if you're a Dragon fan. This is Lauren Kiewit serving. Finding Seifert. Conwisher will keep it in. Vega, a little bump. Conwisher again at the net. Seifert runs it down. Did that ball at a fingertip? It did.
Yeah. The trajectory of that ball definitely changed. 2, if you want to look at here, these last few points, Minnesota Duluth, their offense, watch their sets. They're close to the net, they're not off. Dragons a lot of the time are getting a lot of free balls off the net that are high sets. UMD doing a great job of pushing their their hitters close to the net so they're able to run and get harder hits, faster hits, and run that offense.
Wasik in. Who's going to stop that? Berg. She's just a sophomore.
I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of Kate Berg next 2 years.
See, this is where I get the respect level of a Kylie Conwisher. She's young, athletic, things that I never had, never will have, and she just gets in front of that missile that gets launched off of Berg or whomever the case may be from Minnesota Duluth. All of a sudden, it's 19-10 as Madison Klein, part of the back-to-back championships at Bismarck Century.
You know, and it's kind of hard to say or not, you know, when you start mixing in players and it messes up, you know, the momentum, but it's almost like, is this a defeat thing? Are we kind of giving up, or are we just trying to change the tempo? You know, it's one of those things where it's just...
No, it's never give up. Never give up. I know that. There's facing your fate on the football field, but in this sport, I don't think there's ever give up. I think this is, you know what, you put someone else in and you try to change momentum. I know a Carla Nelson might bring in last year a Selensky or someone else off the bench just to try to change some things and get something positive going. It hasn't worked in these last couple points as Minnesota Duluth moves in. I understand what you're saying and what some people may think, but I certainly think this not only gets Klein some touches in live action, right? You cannot replace that, but they're getting a swat was Lexi Gilbertson, but it's all the learning. And Vega, you don't think there's never any give up in her, ever, as we get to see probably her final points here at home as a Dragon.
Yeah, but also too, when it comes to, multiple freshmen, and it's just so hard to get that rhythm and connection, when you are just moving people around. And near the end of the season, this is when you want to be clicking on all 4 cylinders. That's when you want hits like that. You want everyone to be clicking and meshing. So good, I agree with the experience, but sometimes just as a team and momentum-wise, it's a little tough. Doesn't matter what sport you're in.
Down 22-11. Vega. Knuckleball across the net. Vega tried to run that down, but the problem was Madison Klein didn't know where the ball was. And when Vega went left, Klein went left. When Vega went right, Klein went right, and Monica couldn't run it down, even though she knew where the ball was the entire time. And now match point for Minnesota Duluth. Berg to put it in play. And putting out the finishing touches, Emily Torby. Oh no, was she in the net?
No.
They're going to say no. Minnesota Duluth wins it 3-1. Alexis and I will wrap it up after this. You're watching live coverage of MSU Moorhead Dragons Volleyball on WDAY's Extra.
Another day. And just like every day, it never seems to slow down. But you have a plan. Grab a cup, grab the paper, and grab a little time. Just for you. It's worth it. Don't get the paper? Just grab the phone. Call now and save up to 60% off the newsstand price. Journalists, bringing the story home every day.
It's a new stay at the Courtyard by Marriott, located just minutes from downtown Fargo, local colleges, shopping centers, and several restaurants. The Courtyard features a 24-hour fitness center, 24-hour on-site Starbucks, and our bistro restaurant and lounge open for breakfast and dinner daily. Relax in one of our 2 indoor swimming pools and hot tub. The comfort your family needs close to all the action at the Courtyard by Marriott. Visit our website or call 218-284-1000. That's 218-284-1000.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
The she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shed?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Dave Eggers at 218-233-1334 today.
Dragon Swim School is proud to offer year-round swimming and diving lessons with the lowest student-to-instructor ratio around. Lessons are available for all levels, including parent-child sessions and preschool. Help your child learn to love the water in a safe and caring environment with us at Dragon Swim School. Visit msumdragons.com/swim for more information. That's msumdragons.com/swim.
Herbert and Gerbert's wants to know, what's your favorite sandwich?
My personal favorite is the Flash. It's got all that meat and that Italian flavor that I can't get enough of.
You know, the first time I was at Herbert and Gerbert's, I couldn't decide if I wanted ham or turkey, so I got the Gerf. Got both.
I like the Pompeii because I like chicken salad, but it also has that sweet chili sauce.
Experience Flavor Nation for yourself with the classic, specialty, and signature menus at Herbert and Gerbert's with 4 convenient FM locations, 1 in Bismarck and 1 in Grand Forks. Or order online and have it delivered at herbertandgerberts.com.
And welcome back to an emptying Alex Nemzik Fieldhouse. Steve DeStation, Alexis Kennedy with you one more time. Minnesota Duluth defeats the Dragons here this afternoon, 3-1. Let's go to the highlights. After the 2 teams split, Kate Berg said, I'm going to split the Dragon defense. And there she is again on the left-hand side. The Medina, Minnesota major has started every match as a Bulldog and is simply terrific. This is Madison Wassing for the Dragons. Monica Vega celebrating. Here she's had high intensity, high energy ever since she began here 3 years ago. Hannah Meyer with a kill for Minnesota Duluth. The Dragons trying to muster some offense, but it was Minnesota Duluth all over the Dragons at sets number 3 and 4. Kate Berg and then Emily Torvey at the end will get a block at the end, and Minnesota Duluth would come away with the 3-1 victory. Alexis, what statistics stand out to you?
Statistically, attacking percentage, we had it go back and forth. It was tied for a little bit, pretty dang close, falling behind, but here looking UMD hitting .295, and you know, they just capitalize. After that second set drop to the Dragons, they came back, won the next two, 25-11 both. You know, I think that just kind of stuck with them, and they stuck with it and just kind of went for it, swung super hard, and you can tell in their attacking percentage, you know, they're up there. They're hitting every 10 balls, 3 hits.
That's a statement. That's 30% to 16, almost 2-to-1 attacking percentage for Minnesota Duluth. One of the reasons why they are ranked top 10 in the nation. Let's pick an electrifying play of the game, and we're going to stay local. Let's go to Shanley product Kylie Conwisher, right about there, and even the talented Keena Seifert couldn't come up with that. Conwisher's Blast is our electrifying play of the game, presented by Moorhead Public Service, who reminds you to install low-flow shower heads and aerated faucets to conserve water and save energy on water. For more energy-saving tips, log on to brightenergysolutions.com. Saving energy, saving money. As far as a newsmaker of the game, we're going to go to Mackenzie Morgan. Alexis, I know she impressed you. She was terrific here today. She played at the Division I level, and she showed a lot of us many reasons why, including right here. So Mackenzie Morgan is our newsmaker of the game, presented by the Forum of Fargo Moorhead. Call 241-5445 today to get the Forum of Fargo Moorhead delivered tomorrow. Alexis, this is about the student athlete. This is your last volleyball match with me. I will give you the final word today.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you to Alex. Thank you to everyone that I've worked with. You know, it's been a fun 2 years with you, Don, Steve, Scotty, everyone. You know, it's been a great 2 years. I'm sad that we had to end on a loss, but it's been fun and learned a lot of things throughout these couple of years.
You know what? How about let's not cry too quickly.
We still have basketball.
We got football in 2 weeks.
We have football too.
Football in 2 weeks. This is Alexis. I'm Steve. We'll come back in 2 weeks. Dragons football against St. Cloud. Then we got a whole basketball season.
All season.
All right.
Still got a lot of sports to go.
All right. Let's do it. I want to thank our entire crew: Alex Nelson, John Webking. Thankless hours. Just too many to mention. They have been here throughout this great and seamless doubleheader. It's a lot of work behind the scenes for our entire talented student crew, for Alexis, for Don Groth. This is Steve DeStacio saying so long from Nemzik Fieldhouse. The football team wins earlier today over Minot, 51-26. As you see some highlights, the volleyball team loses 3-1. So long. Stay dry. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks here on DAY Extra.